Welcome to Grammar and Composition 803. This section is going to be on writing summaries. So let's discuss exactly what is a summary. So a summary is a brief writing that tells the main events of a longer piece of writing. And we want to make sure that our summaries are no longer than 1/3 of the original copy. So how do we write a summary? So summaries differ according to their purpose and type of writing being summarized. So you are going to summarize nonfiction and fiction the same, but yet differently. You're going to realize, you're going to figure out how to summarize nonfiction, what's the easiest way to summarize nonfiction, and what's the easiest way to summarize fiction. So summarizing nonfiction selections. So first you want to read the selection, and what that entails is several different steps. So first, by reading the selection, you're going to skim rapidly over the selection at first. You want to notice the main ideas and notice any types of divisions or any terms that are in bold and italics. So after you've skimmed the selection, you're going to read the selection carefully and making sure that you've comprehended and that you understand exactly what's being said. Next, you're going to reread it, and then while you're rereading it, you're going to jot down the main ideas and important details. So here's a couple things just I want you to remember. The first and last sentences of each paragraph are usually topic or summarizing sentences. So you can, by just looking at those two things, by looking at the first and the last sentences of each paragraph, you can kind of realize exactly point out the main ideas of what they're trying to get across. Your last paragraph often lists all the main points. A lot of times in a nonfiction writing, the last paragraph is basically summarizing everything that they've already said. So by looking at that last paragraph, you can actually pull out, for the most part, most of the main points in that selection. Keywords or phrases can point you to main ideas. Again, going back to making sure that we have found anything in bold and italics, those main points, keywords, things like that. You want to make sure and you omit the minor details. A summary is just pulling out those main points, so we don't need those minor details. Ideas are that your ideas are in the same order or as the selection and have not added any of your own ideas. So when you're doing a summary, you don't want to start where they started in the third paragraph. You want to start the main idea and then go from each paragraph, and making sure that your ideas are in the same order as the selection. And again, making sure that you haven't added anything to that selection, making sure that everything you're summarizing is already being said in the original selection. Next, you want to make sure and write your summary in your own words. You don't want to just copy word for word what the main idea is. You want to make sure and that your summaries are your own words. And then you want to proofread, making sure that you don't have any incorrect grammar, misspellings, punctuations are correct, everything like that. Going back to that manuscript form, making sure that we have followed all the rules for the manuscript form. And also, remember these ideas when you're proofreading. First, did you include your main idea? Did you omit all examples, illustrations, and minor details? Are your ideas in the same order? Have you written it in your own words? And then again, making sure any grammatical or mechanical errors are fixed. So in fiction, there will be there will not be a topic sentence or summarizing sentences. So in fiction, you want to look for things like major characters, conflicts, and events in the story. And therefore, that will kind of tell you where you need to be when it comes to summarizing.